Hey, what's up, y'all? We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into a reaction of Blade versus Buffy. This is one of the ones I was anticipating. I couldn't wait to see this and see which ones comes out on top, or who they're gonna who's gonna win. But yeah, man, I've been waiting for this one, and I can't wait to get into it. So we're gonna get into it right now. But who y'all think gonna win though? Who y'all think gonna win this reaction? Y'all think Blade gonna win? Buffy? You know. Oh, and also please like, subscribe, share my stuff, please. I really appreciate it. Now we're gonna get into the video. Okay, we're gonna start it right now. Right now.
Yeah.
Blade versus Buffy.
The
Blade versus
Daywalker
Buffy
versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
Yep, that's what y'all do. Get the analyzing.
They're known by many names. Revenant, Vortala, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day, Blade.
Is that really his costume?
Hang on.
Now there's a man who doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes
Wow,
ever.
nice reference jokes
basically
to Wesley
kickstarted the
Snipes
comic
not
book
paying his
movie
tax.
craze.
And yes, he is also
little
seemingly the
joke.
only
Ha ha,
one who
funny.
knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody talks about this.
Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself.
Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the young Eric Brooks' mother
You
was in
6'2"?
labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood
Make
right
that new
before
movie,
she
Marvel.
gave birth.
This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half
Yeah,
human,
we're gonna get that
half
Blade
vampire.
moving. We need that Blade
Vampire.
moving.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with
Okay.
Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can
Okay.
drain his victims of magical energy.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade
Who was
became a
that?
master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his
Berserk
martial arts
mode,
ability,
blood-sucking
we'll
thing,
examine the Blade movies as
mortality,
performed by
shape
Wesley
shifting.
Snipes.
By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido.
Dang.
And on Blade's knack for stealthy
Okay.
takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
I don't really see how Buffy's gonna
Blade's
win this. I'm
training
gonna be straight
progressed
up honest with
smoothly
you.
until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained
I don't
by
think Buffy's.
Dracula. Seriously,
think she's
Avengers,
powerful enough. I don't
Dracula
think she's
is
strong enough for
real.
this.
Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right
She
there.
ain't
Forced
cracked
to
enough.
murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude. Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decoration.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of
I didn't
his
know he had
firepower.
an adamantium
And he
sword.
enjoys getting up close and personal
Nice
with his
days,
dual
man.
acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel,
Nice
he's
to
got
know. I
a
did
sword
not
made out
know
of
he had
adamantium.
adamantium.
Specifically,
Okay.
secondary
What's up?
adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It may not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords.
Okay.
His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
got some weird stuff
They
he
got a
can pull
bunch
out
of
of his
swords
ass, like a
for
hellfire
different
shotgun
occasions,
that
like
burns
a
your
witcher or
soul,
something.
or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kind of dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living
breathing
firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces.
What the
Its sentient
freak?
bullets chase its victims down. The wounds
What?
they cause cannot be healed. And if they
That's
get lodged in your
crazy.
body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can even hurt hell lords and even greater threats like the cosmic
Damn,
Ghost
hell,
Rider.
Ghost
Blade
Rider.
took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades
Okay.
even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of,
Vampire, right.
vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge
pretty
though,
powerful.
since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly,
What storyline
Dracula
is
has
that?
even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with
Yeah,
you
I
with
don't-
the
I don't
Ant-Man?
see Buffy really-
Blade's hatred of vampires is only
really
matched by his
beating
hatred
Blade,
of
to be honest.
himself. However,
I don't know,
when
she might have a
Brielle
little
showed
something up her
signs of
sleeve, who
vampiric
knows?
powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's vampires beware. For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness.
Buffy
She
the
is
Vampire Slayer.
Thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers,
All right, let's see
and
what
was
she can
destined
do.
to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy and Summer.
So she's like an
Not
avatar.
exactly the first girl you'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slaying, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school. Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy and her Scooby gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
Oh my god, that
And we
CGI
mean
looks
truly
horrible.
never ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics and 128
I did not know she had
novels.
comics
Tens of
or
thousands
novels.
of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in gorgon venom that can turn you to
Hellfire
stone.
launcher?
Though she's also experienced with
dagger.
axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu,
Okay.
tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
She got some
Buffy
fighting of her
apparently
own.
thinks
She
Hong
got some
Kong's
hand-to-hand
kung fu
combat
movie
too.
masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point
There's two
blank
Slayers?
range.
I thought there was only
Buffy's
one.
strong enough to bend rebar.
I thought
punch
they're gonna
this
be one at a
4.5-ton
time.
bat monster into the air. And,
I guess that's only in, like, the
smash hard enough to
comic
tear
books
apart a
continuity, I
building.
guess.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephrilion's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted
No,
her
I think it's
soul
gonna play a
being
part
ripped
because he
apart
can
and
go inside
scattered
people's
across
bodies
time.
as like
Or
a
that
mist.
time
I
she
think that's
jumped
probably gonna
into
play a part in
vat
the
of
battle.
boiling liquid so hot it
She
could
gonna, like,
reduce people to
expel 'em.
skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer
Okay,
put a
Buffy's
huge
a
burden on
tough
Buffy's
cookie,
life.
bro.
Unable
She's
to
pretty-
live
she's
normally,
pretty
she felt
yoik.
isolated,
I mean,
forced to
yoked.
internalize the trauma she faced on a
cracked.
daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they
did not
couldn't
know she was
understand her
that strong.
unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Buffy sacrificed herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence! This absolutely crushed Buffy, and ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's
Buffy's
smacking
battled
people, they go
for 48
flying.
hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric
Got, like,
weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of
like
Sano,
superhuman
which caused
strength.
the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The, Slayer safe!
It's actually a Bardiche,
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons. The scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon
I didn't know
conqueror
that
to
shit.
stay
She
away
like
from
pretty
her,
much trained
because
like a
unless you
whole
wanna
army
get
of
your
people to
blood all
slay,
over her
well,
stylish
girls
yet
to
affordable
slay
boots,
demons
you'll
and
steer
monsters.
clear
So,
of
okay.
Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Here comes the death battle. I can't wait. I'm gonna watch the death battle. Blade.
They were kings
Oh yeah, it's Blade.
long before they had a name.
So they made this live action.
But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You
the
have
heck?
waited long enough.
Who was just playing Blade? Bro?
Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back
Okay, some more
what was
dramatic
always
acting.
ours. Tonight,
They said that we had to make this one live action. We gotta take this one serious.
beast.
Daywalker.
That is not my Blade.
And she
That is not my Blade.
is just the start.
Uh-oh. Okay. They ain't shooting none in the heart though. I guess you don't need to shoot these vampires in the heart. Right there, right at me. Okay. Okay, not my Blade. You just like, I accept it. I accept my fate. Just take me. That bit transform.
Wait! She was just a kid.
Not anymore.
Oh no, this doesn't sound like that. Oh my god, no. Ooh, baby Blade. Not anymore. That's how drunk by the actor. Just saying.
damn mind?
I cannot take this. I cannot take him seriously. Watch your damn mind. Drop those tape. Oh, that's it. He's like, what? He's like, damn. Don't step in your glasses, Blade.
Amateur hour.
There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Oh no, please don't. Please stop me with the freaking quote. Come on, Blade. How you let it just smack you in the face on the black door? Got her. What kind of bullet was that? It was like a demon finger.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
I feel like they gonna hold Blade. I feel like they gonna do some BS. They gonna end up just offing him. I feel like here it comes. I knew it. What happened to him turning into mist? Bro, that's great.
It's like you got ahead of yourself.
To be Blade tenued no longer. I'm
No.
surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
Really? Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories.
Yeah,
First up,
let's do
stats.
that, sure.
Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston
Ain't gonna lie,
to
I
the
was
Sorrow
biased. I
Demon
wanted
creating a
Blade to
storm that
win.
covered
It
Los
is what it
Angeles,
is, though.
a city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse devouring god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Next time on Death Battle.
Well, that was Death Battle, y'all. I really thought Blade was gonna be able to handle it, but Buffy won. So yeah, she had the better equipment, more skilled, I guess. But yeah, bro, it is what it is. But hey, y'all, I appreciate if you show me out. Not show me, but like the video, share it, subscribe, please. If you're gonna watch this, I would love it if you could do that for me. See y'all next time. Goodbye. Well, not goodbye, but I'm just leave that. See you next time.